Numancia, Aklan, in Western Visayas in the Philippines. I'm having my morning cup of coffee here on my coffee with Ginno cup. My Copico Blanca. Copico Blanca is my choice of 3-in-1 coffee here in the Philippines. It's coffee, cream and sugar, powder form. It comes in this sachet. You just put it in your cup, add hot water, and you're good to go. You got a nice cup of coffee here. Really inexpensive here. I can get this. It did increase in price. I used to be able to get like a 10-pack for like 70. Now it's 80 pesos. So 8 pesos each for so you still get about $1.75 for 10 cups of coffee. I only drink 1 coffee a day, so I don't abuse coffee. You know, it's my pick-me-up to get my day started. I also have one of these Coffee Mate French Vanilla Creamer. I like this Coffee Mate French Vanilla Creamer. The ones in the US, when I was in the US, they came like in like big containers. Here I only can get these little tiny, they come in a box, like a box of 50, which is good. It's all good for me. It adds taste to my Copico Blanca. And I get this at SNR in Iloilo City when we travel to Iloilo City. Good morning, Ginno and everyone. Kim Mandal, all right. Hey, Gavin P, my good friend in Brisbane, Australia. Glad you can make it to the live stream. You must be on your lunch break. Lunch break. I know you usually watch the live stream on your lunch break. Charlie Latz, good morning. My good friend in Boston. Charlie Latz. It's getting cold here. Ooh, I bet, it's like November already, right? It's like, would not surprise me, it's snow, November, usually Thanksgiving, you got a lot of snow already in the northeast of the United States. The leaves are turning red and orange. Way too quick. When I lived in the US, I mostly lived, I never really lived in a place in the US where they snowed. It's like I lived in California, I lived in Louisiana, I lived in Texas, Arizona. So I always stayed, I guess because, it wasn't even planned because those were the military bases that I got stationed. I got stationed at Barksdale Air Force Base in Louisiana, Brooks Air Force Base in Texas, George Air Force Base in California. So I never got stationed to the only experience I have with snow, I lived 4 years at Misawa Air Base in northern Japan. That was cold, man. That was cold up there. I mean, we were measuring snowfall there in feet, because we got that cool air from Russia, northern Japan, Aomori Prefecture. We're almost like at Hokkaido Island. So it's really cold. It started snowing in Misawa, I remember, like late October, all the way to April. We had snow on the ground at Misawa Air Base. Oh, Sam Gloves. I've not seen you in a while, Sam Gloves. I know you like gloves. I know you're the glove man. I've not seen you for a while in our channel. Charlie, people who live here are lucky enough to have cold winters, rainy springs, hot summer. Yeah, it's to me the 4 seasons, right? I have my friend from Boston. He's from Boston, Leo. He's got a swimming pool. He lives in Boston, but he's got a swimming pool. So it's like so I know you guys have 4 seasons. To me, that's a blessing to have experienced the 4 seasons. He's got a fireplace. He's got a swimming pool. To me, that's like a blessing when you can live like that. Dazzle gloves. We have some cleaning gloves, like regular cleaning gloves, and then we also have the plastic gloves that when you prepare food sometimes that you wear. They're cheap here, so we buy it. All right, I always start the live stream with the weather. So I'm gonna do the weather report. Right now, they're gonna call it Typhoon UWA. Currently, it's not in the Philippine area of responsibility yet. The PAR is what they call it. Oh, I should have opened my laptop because just in case the live stream gets hung. Lately, I noticed the live streams, even the ones I watch on YouTube, are, have been getting hung by, I don't know, maybe they're getting overloaded with live streams. But let me get on my laptop because I don't want to be, keep talking and for the live stream not going. Looks like it hung up. So let me look on my laptop first. Drink my coffee here. That's funny. Sam Glove is funny. I haven't seen you in a while, Sam's Glove. That's funny. You're the glove man. You're the glove man. Let me just see here. Make sure the live stream is still going. I got the Windy app. There's the TV.
10 years ago,
Oh, I gotta lower the volume here.
discipline became my edge.
Skip that. Just want to make sure that it's still running, that the live stream is still running. Oh, it looks like it's running. Looks like it's running. All right, all right. All right, so I'll do the weather report. The weather report for the Philippines, like I said, Typhoon Uwa. Uwa is the name of the typhoon. It's outside the Philippine area of responsibility right now. It's still, as of 3 a.m. this morning, 1,500 kilometers east-northeast of Mindanao. That's pretty far still. And it's going very slow. The movement is only 10 kilometers per hour. So it might still take a while. Maybe late Saturday, maybe Sunday, it'll enter the PAR, the Philippine area of responsibility. And most of the country right now, there's really no weather. It says here, Batanes and Cagayan, cloudy skies with rain. Metro Manila and the rest of the country, partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated rain showers or thunderstorms. Quiet morning. I know it must be like I don't know. It must be a quiet morning. No worries. I'll still continue. I'll still continue on the live stream. Maybe I just won't stay long if we don't get any people watching it. Not a big deal. It's like I'm just getting my started here, Charlie. So having my cup of coffee. I know how it is. Sometimes people get busy. It's like, here, all right, peanut butter travels. And I did prepare a topic to discuss. So I try to do that because sometimes I don't get viewers, on the live stream. So I make sure that I have a topic to discuss. That way, I can share information. I actually, when I woke up this morning, I just got off work. All right, peanut butter travels. All right. What's the time there, bro? It's currently 6:27 a.m. The reason I started early today, and usually I do my live stream like after I drop off Leanne at school, like around 7:30. But she doesn't have school again today. Monday to Wednesday, she didn't have school because of the typhoon, Typhoon Tino. And then Thursday and Friday, her school, they're using the school for like a sports meet, like sporting event for different schools here in Aklan province. So they do not have school yesterday and today. So the whole week, Leanna hasn't had school. Live in the UK. The time is 10:30. Thank you, thank you. Glad to know that at 10:30. I didn't know. I didn't know what time it is in the UK. Thank you so much for that, my friend. I actually, my topic this morning, the reason I came up with this topic is I saw a new vlogger. These videos, YouTube videos, pop up on my page sometimes. Different videos from different vloggers, and there's actually a new vlogger. It looks like he's from the UK. From the UK, he just recently arrived here in the Philippines, and he made a video. So I was like, oh, that's a pretty cool video that he made. You know, it's like pretty interesting guy, And I think he titled his video "Hidden Costs of the Philippines." That's why I wanted to start talking about that. I'm from Sam Glove. Everybody's from the UK today, man. I got like back-to-back people here from the UK. Yeah, watch the video. Pretty good video. I mean, he had some good insights regarding the Philippines. Even though he's a newbie, he's a newbie here. It's like, I always like take the newbies. I call them the newbies when they get here to the Philippines with a grain of salt because they get here. I know they're so eager. They're so eager about the Philippines, and then some of them vlog. But really, it's hard to take their I wish him well. I wish him well on his channel. But he started talking about the hidden costs of SRRV. That was his first topic. It was like SRRV, the hidden cost. Hey, good morning, Michael C., my good friend in Trece Martires. So it just kind of made me think because like the hidden costs of SRRV, I thought the SRRV, but my friend Michael C. right here, he's one of he processed his own paperwork for SSRV. He didn't hire anybody to do SRV for him. He took care of his SRRV, and I don't really know if there's a hidden cost. So if there's, all the data on the SRRV are online. A lot of people that use SRRV that has a lot of savings with SRRV are your military veterans, retired military, because they're not required to make that big deposit in a bank here. And the money that you deposit in a bank here for SRRV, it's not like you're going to lose the money. The money's just deposited in an account just in case something happens to you here in the Philippines. You get sick or you have to go back to your country. The government here, they want money that they can use to send you back. That you're not going to be a burden. You're not going to be a burden here in the Philippines. Yeah, right there. That's why my Michael C. That's why he's saying there is no hidden cost. He mentioned about documents he had to process in England before he got here. Probably the apostille. I'm not familiar with that. But I was thinking, none of that is hidden, none of that is hidden cost. It's all on the website of the Philippine Retirement Authority. And for me, I always advise people anyway, not to pursue the SRRV right away, especially if you've never been to the Philippines. I know my friend, Daniel, he's doing that. He's coming from Jacksonville, Florida. He's coming here. He wants to process it ASAP, but he's military, so he's got a big savings. I think he only has to deposit like $1,500, which is that's hardly anything to deposit in the bank here. I know the ones that are not military, they have to deposit $10,000 or $20,000. That's a lot of money. But I always tell people, no rush, right? No, why rush into that retirement visa here in the Philippines if you're not even sure you're gonna like the Philippines? Like this gentleman, he's already talking about hidden costs. He didn't expect this about the Philippines and all that. People that the vloggers that are here didn't tell him that. I'm like, to me, he just didn't do enough of his own research. He came here. I mean, just to come here, getting your SRRV right away. Do the tourist visa, man. The tourist visa is so inexpensive. It's like the tourist visa is gonna cost you on average every month you stay here. If you stay like for the 3 years, about $50 a month. $50 a month. You can just put that in your budget. In your budget. To me, it doesn't make sense to, like, you've never been to the Philippines, you come here, you want the your SRRV, you're depositing $10,000, $20,000 in the bank here. To me, make sure the Philippines is for you before. There are other countries in Southeast Asia. It's not just the Philippines. You got Thailand, Cambodia, Vietnam. There's many countries in Southeast Asia. So to me, I would commit, if I was in his shoes, I would have tried out the Philippines first for like a year, come here, spend the $600 on a tourist visa, pay the monthly every 2 months for 1 year before processing the SRRV. That way you don't feel like, a big chunk of your money is already being taken away. And then he talked about hidden costs of air conditioning, because I guess he mentioned, like, in the UK, you guys from the UK tell me this, he said that air conditioning is a luxury in the UK, because I know in the UK it's colder weather, right? It rains a lot. From what, London, from what I've seen about London, it rains a lot, so air conditioning a luxury. Well, that's not a hidden cost here in the Philippines. If you've done your research, you know that the Philippines is hot. Man, I've already told you guys before, the weather in the Philippines is hot, hotter, hottest. It's like, it gets, there is no cool weather in the Philippines unless you live in the mountains. If you live in the Tagaytay, where my good friend Ray in the Philippines, he live in Tagaytay. So he doesn't have to use a lot of air conditioning. But me, every night I go to bed, I use air conditioning, mostly in the summer. Maybe during the rainy season, less. But during the summer, there's no way I can sleep here without air conditioning. And that was one of the luxury comforts that I want. I don't AC the whole house for the whole day. I'm not, I don't do that. But for 8 hours, 9 hours when I go to sleep, I want air conditioning, because, I want to sleep well. Sleep is very important to me. So I don't think air conditioning is a hidden cost in the Philippines. Everybody knows that it's hot in the Philippines. And then he talked about pay more for, I guess he's got like jelly or something, or tea. He's saying, there's no good tea or no good jelly here in the Philippines. When I started listening to that, I'm like, dude, why did you even come to the Philippines? If you're like not, he hasn't even tried the teas here in the Philippines. He hasn't even tried the jellies here. So I was like, I hope he succeeds. I always root for people when they come here. But he was telling how it costs more for imported goods. I mean, anybody that's done research about the Philippines knows this, right? Does anybody know that? I'm sure everybody knows SNR, the items, the SNR, the imported goods from England, from Australia, from US. All those items are going to be more here. It's like, that's not a hidden secret. That's like I said, to me, I think he just didn't do enough research. He didn't know what we have here in the Philippines. And then he talked about, I can tell he got an apartment, like a condo in BGC. And like I said many times, if you're living in BGC, your budget in BGC is at least going to be $2,000. The people like us that can live on $1,000 or $1,200, we live in the province. It's like, there's no way for $1,000 or $1,200 budget that I have that I can live in BGC. That would just be my rent. So to me, it's like he was comparing apples and oranges. You cannot compare living in the province here and living in the BGC. So, keep that in mind when you're moving here. It's like, a lot of people, you see videos living like a king at $1,000, That I don't know what king he's talking about, because there is no king that would live for $1,000 here. That doesn't exist here. You can live comfortable on $1,000 here, $1,500 in the province, because rent is low, cost of living is low here, so you can live on that. Well, in the province. But in BGC, Manila, if you go to those places, my friend Fortune can tell you that. He works in Manila. You cannot live on that in Manila. That's why a lot of people in retirement, or when they're moving here to the Philippines, they're looking for places like provincial. They're looking for places, away from the city. Anytime you want to live in a city, you're gonna spend more money. That's just the way it is. I think that's anywhere in the world, even in America. When I lived in America, if I lived in Los Angeles or New York, I'm going to spend more money. But if I lived in the South, if I lived in Louisiana, they're going to, my expenses is going to be a lot less. It's the same dynamic, so it's not like, this is not like a secret, or this is not like a hidden cost, it's like. And then let me see here. And for me, the thing that I noticed with him when he was making the video, he was commenting, he's new here. When you first arrive to the Philippines, your expenses will be higher, because you still living like the Western lifestyle. You haven't adapted to the Filipino lifestyle. You haven't tried the food. There's people, I know many foreigners that come here, many Westerners, when they come here. Initially, when they come here, they're going to eat at McDonald's. They're going to eat at Dunkin' Donuts. They're going to eat at pizza, the pizza, those are the places where they're going to eat. But the longer you stay here, you're going to find things that you like about Filipino food. It's like very rare do I meet somebody that's been here 1 year, 2 years, or a couple of years that's never tried Filipino food, or can say that I don't like Filipino food. Most of the time, you will find things that, I didn't realize that was gonna be good. Right? Like lechon, a roast pig. When you try roast pig, the crunchy pork skin, the almost like a bacon fat, the rib part, tender meat. I mean, it's hard not to like roast pig, the whole roast pig, especially with the crunchy skin. Very few people that I know, when they eat that, they're gonna go like, oh, I don't like this. It's like most people enjoy lechon. Most people will find something in the Filipino cuisine that they'll like pancit. Pancit's pretty, noodles. It's like different types of pancit. Pancit Canton, Malabon, there's a certain food that all of a sudden, oh, this is not bad. And they start like eating. And then if you like seafood, there's a lot of seafood here. So a lot of times, of course, when you land in the Philippines, your expenses are going to be higher, because you've still got the mindset living in a foreign country, living in a Western developed country. You want your, $5, $6 latte. You're still doing that. You're not drinking 3-in-1 yet, because you haven't been here yet. But like, the longer you stay in the Philippines, you're gonna adapt Filipino ways. And your budget, the initial budget when you land, that's why you can't base your budget when you land. Because of course, when you land in the Philippines, you're gonna buy the comforts that you like. Ooh, I don't like the pillow at my Airbnb, or I don't like the blanket or pillow. I'm gonna buy my Egyptian cotton sheets, or my plush pillow. You're gonna buy like comfort, for your home to get you situated, and that will like increase your budget, when you first initially get here. But the longer you stay in the Philippines, Michael White, he can speak about this, because he lived in Manila initially. Now he lives in Trece Martires in Cavite. He lives in a nice up and down townhouse, 2-bathroom, 1 bathroom at the bottom, 1 bathroom, nice apartment. And I know he spends less in that apartment than when he lived in Manila in a condo. So you're gonna find those things. Your expenses initially, don't base your like, you land here in the Philippines and after 2-3 months you're like, man, it's expensive in the Philippines. Man, I can't, I can't buy all the stuff I want. It doesn't work like that. It takes time. You're gonna adjust. Your budget is gonna drop. You're not gonna get the skin tax that you're thinking because you don't know the prices yet. Even a simple tricycle ride, even a simple taxi ride, you don't understand how the culture, how everything works here. But the longer you stay in the Philippines, your expenses will drop because you're gonna know the rhythm, the culture, the way everything moves here in the Philippines. Danger. Thank you so much for doing this vlog daily. As someone considering the move to the Philippines, I've learned more in the last 3 weeks watching you than I have the last year. I thank you, and I appreciate that. I appreciate that comment, my friend. And I think that's why I do the live streams. It's because of people like you. It's like I've been here 14 years. So I think I have a little bit of experience. I've been retired here in the Philippines for 14 years. I came here with my military pension alone, no other pension, one pension, military pension when I was 45. I'm now 59, soon to be 60, senior citizen here in the Philippines, 60 here. So I get my senior citizen card here in the Philippines when I turn 60. So I've been here, it's like I've seen just about everything. I'm not a know-it-all. I'm still learning. That's why I like helping people. I like helping the new guys coming in here to Calibo. I got Stevie. Stevie is all excited. I was like messaging with him. He arrives in Caticlan, Aklan. I'm going to pick him up at the airport. November 11. He's going to be here in like just a few days, like 5 days he'll be here. So he's so excited. Already got him his apartment in Caticlan near the port. Stevie likes to go fishing, so that's gonna be he's so excited to get here. And then my other friend Brian Texpat on the live stream here. He's gonna be in Calibo, landing in Cebu November 25. So he'll come here probably the 26th. I'll pick him up. We haven't arranged yet. I haven't talked to him what arrangement. He's probably going to stay at a hotel or Airbnb, but he'll stay in Calibo. He'll hang out with me, and I'll take him places here in Aklan province. Actually, I'm planning expat get together for Thanksgiving Day, that Thursday. I think November 27th at the 8 Bowl Tavern. I'm trying to set that up. That way, just all the expats that I know from the channel here will get together at the 8 Bowl Tavern. They got 2 pool tables there. Excellent food. Like some of the best food here in Calibo as far as like American type food. Their burgers are awesome. 100% Australian beef burgers. Same burgers that I would eat if I was like in the U.S. Bun, like big thick burger, lettuce, tomato, onion. It's like an American burger. Not Jollibee, not Jollibee burger. But it should be fun. It should be fun. I can't wait. I just want to get everybody together. It's like people say when they come here, oh, I do not want to be around expats. It's like why would I want to be around expats? If I left America, Canada, or anything because I want to be away from expats. But the ones that I have seen successful here are the ones that don't isolate themselves. You might say you don't want to be around expats, but I've talked to many expats here. I got friends that one of the things that was hard for them to adjust was when they met their Filipina. The Filipina lives somewhere remote province like Antique, like up in the mountains, away from like a town or away from a city. And the one thing they had a hard time adjusting to is, they all tell me this. It's not just, it's a few of them that's told me this. They don't have anybody to talk English with. Filipinos know how to speak English, but the English that we talk, like in America, it's just too fast for them. Or even if they can speak English to you, they don't understand the American humor, the Canadian humor, the British humor. There's no sarcasm. They're not going to understand sarcasm. The people up in the mountains, people in remote provinces. And that's the first thing that they have a hard time dealing with. My good friend Tim, he's in Las Vegas now. He's spent time here in Antique province. He'll be back soon. I'm sure. I think he's just processing his wife's paperwork in the U.S. to become a U.S. citizen. Once that's done, a few years, I know he'll be back here in Panay Island. And Tim and I have become really good friends. And he told me, Ginno, man, I wish I knew you when I was living in Antique, because he told me he was so bored in Antique. He was like, he couldn't find anybody to talk to. And I told him, man, too bad that you didn't know me when you were here, because I would have connected him with other expats. Same interests. If you like fishing, if you like boating, if you like motorbike riding, Panay, you can do the Panay loop. You can do that on your motorbike with a bunch of dudes, or if you want to do it by yourself. There is stuff to do here, especially when you're with the expats. You can kid around with expats. You understand the jokes. Yeah. A lot of times, like the other day, my friend Ryan, he got a motorbike yesterday. He's just here touring the Philippines, and now he's gonna do the motor. He's on his motor. He rented a motorbike yesterday. He's gonna do the Panay loop. The Panay loop is like you ride your motorcycle here in Aklan, then in Antique province, Iloilo province, Capiz province, and then you're back here in Calibo. That's like the Panay loop, all on your motorcycle. So just go from town to town, beach to beach, mountain, and that's what Ryan was gonna do. But the day before that, I took him to the Junkster Cafe. The Junkster Cafe is owned by my Australian friend Mick. Mick is a really awesome guy. Been here in Aklan for like 20 years. Has this cafe, bar. Every Friday there's like a happy hour. A lot of expats go to that bar, and he's just a cool dude. And we sat there, me, Ryan, Ben, another expat, and then I forgot the other gentleman's name, and Mick. And we were just there, just like we were eating lunch and watching the ocean, because the Junkster Cafe in New Washington, Aklan, it's right in front of the beach. It's right in front onto the seawall. So we're like, while we're just chit-chatting, we're like this. The scenery was the ocean, So to me, man, when people tell me, it's like I don't want to be around expats. Maybe because of places like Angeles City, maybe because of Angeles City, or maybe even I've heard even Dumaguete City. I've been to Dumaguete City and Angeles City, and there are a lot of expats there. Maybe because it's too much. Maybe it's too much expats in those areas. But here in Calibo, we don't have that. There are expats here, but not many yet. Not many yet. It's growing. It's growing. It's like I'm adding people here to the Panay posse. So it is growing. It is growing. Hi, Ginno, Jody Market. I love your channel. Where is Dazzle? Dazzle's still sleeping. Dazzle normally she doesn't get up till about 10 a.m. because she watches Korean drama. Mom, they all watch Korean drama, horror movies till like midnight, sometimes past midnight. We don't work. Dazzle and I, we graduated college together at STI College Calibo in 2016. So we graduated almost 10 years ago, and we've never worked. That's why, I'm retired, and I'm just enjoying life. I don't want Dazzle to work, because if she works, then who am I gonna hang out? She loves hanging out with me. We like doing things together. We go to the gym. We go eat at restaurants. We meet with our friends, our expat friends here in Calibo. We just won't have time to do that if she was working. And then, to me, it doesn't make sense for Dazzle to work like even here in Calibo or even in Boracay Island, because she's only gonna make maybe $200, $300 a month. By the time you pay your rent, food, transportation, what's gonna be left of $200 or $300? So it doesn't make sense. I'd rather Dazzle just have fun, go fishing. Like the other day, Mom and Dazzle went fishing. We live pretty comfortable on my military pension. We're able to save every month. We actually bought land in Katiklan. We plan on building on that land in Katiklan. This house is going to be paid off in like another 4.5 years. Our mortgage on this house is only $200. So we're not struggling. We're not struggling for money. We're not rich by any chance. We're not rich, but we live comfortable. We live comfortable on my military pension. And in a couple of years, I'll be 62 and I'll be collecting my Social Security from the United States. Cocktail. Say, all right, man. Happy Air Force Day. Aim high, buddy. All right, aim high, brother. Aim high, aim high. Hey, glasses. Hey, glasses, my blue. All right, glasses. Yeah, man. I like my glasses, man. I got this. It's called the Dior Superflex. Really light. I'm almost like, sometimes I forget I got glasses. These things are flexible. The glass, the plastic, I guess, it's like really light. I like it. I like my glasses. And it's got that transition lenses, so when I go outside, it darkens for me. I really like. I only paid like less than $100. Doctor visit, glasses, everything, less than $100. It was about like 5,000 pesos. Fortune, good AM, Fortune, good AM, Ginno, and the Panay Posse. I haven't noticed the Panay Posse yet, man. Fortune, you're the first one, it seemed like, but it's all good, it's all good. I'll keep the live stream going. I started early, I started early on the live stream. Class is still out. Today, Fortune, the reason Leanna doesn't have school, they have a unit meet. Oh, that's why they didn't have school yesterday and today. They had in Aklan, they have a unit meet where it's a sports event for the kids, so, and Leanna doesn't do sports, so she don't have to go to school. But she did do the Kumon yesterday, and then today we're going to take her back-to-back days. After her Kumon yesterday, she came home, she did her assignments for Kumon last night, and we're going to take her as soon as she gets up here this morning. So she'll get her 2 visits to Kumon this week. I'm glad she really has the Kumon, because I've noticed here at Numancia Integrated School, since Leanna became high school, they're just doing many more of these like sports, dancing, project. It's not really like academics they're focusing on, once she started. That's why I'm glad at least she got Kumon, so that's gonna still help her. Hey, there's the Panay Posse right there, JB. Hey, JB. Good morning, JB. I was I was chatting with JP yesterday on my WhatsApp, and same time I was chatting with Stevie, the potholes reservoir. JP, Stevie knows it. Like he said, it's Eastern Washington State, and then he's all set. JP. JP offered in the Tacoma, Seattle area if Stevie needed a ride, and Stevie doesn't. I guess he's made arrangement. He's so excited, JP. I don't think he's sleeping. He's so excited. He's gonna be getting on the plane soon, because he arrives Cebu the 11th. I think 11th. He arrives here, 11th, because he said he's not gonna even stay in Cebu. He's gonna fly out after he lands. He's gonna fly directly. He's gonna fly directly to Katiklan. So I will pick him up Tuesday morning here, November 11th in Katiklan. And his apartment from the airport is not even 15 minutes. His apartment is right there by Tabun Port. He's gonna be by the water. So he's so excited. He's a fisherman like you, JP. And now I'm sure when the time, when you get here, you'll get to meet Stevie for sure. Between you, Stevie, John Sparrow, all you guys, fishermen guys, I'll get you guys all connected, so you all can go fishing. And I think Edgar wants to go fishing too. So. Good AM, JP. Howdy, Fortune. AKA Master Yoda. LOL, JP on the way to work now. Oh, that's right. It's Friday. Fortune is gonna today's the pickup day for Maggie, his daughter that goes to school at UP, University of Philippines, Diliman. So after work today, they're all going to be headed home to Bacoor in Cavite. I just got home, had to finish early, back pain. Oh man, hope you feel better. Hope you feel better. JP, I have a little bit of that myself, JP. I didn't do anything, I didn't live for anything, but I guess, it is what it is. When you get older, sometimes just getting up in the morning, you start feeling something. Maybe I slept wrong. I slept wrong when on my side or something. I don't know, but like it took me a little bit to get up this morning. I was like, not back pain, but definitely some. It wasn't like a smooth getting up this morning from bed. Hey Daniel, my Panay Posse brother, my good brother in Jacksonville, Florida. Panay Posse Bros. There you are. Everybody saw it earlier. I was like, man, where's my Panay Posse crew? They're not here, but now everybody's showing up. I did start early. That was, you probably threw you guys off. I started early. Tim, good morning, my friends. Good morning, Tim. Howdy, Daniel. Daniel says hello to JP, to Fortune. Oh, man. I am going from 2 to 4. You're losing your number. Hey, that's all right, man. You're still in the top 5. JP, you're still in the top 5, man. It's just surprising me that everybody's all of a sudden like, even Brian. Brian. I thought Brian, his date was next year. He was before he was talking about maybe March or April, and then Brian and I, during the Dodger the playoffs, we were texting. He's a baseball fan like me, so me and him were like always like communicating during the baseball, and then he just told me, Ginno, what do you think of this flight from Dallas? It went from Dallas, Texas to Korea to Cebu, and the airfare ticket was like $800 round trip. And it's like, what do you think of that ticket? And I told Brian, dude, I've never seen ticket like that cheap. For a round trip ticket from Dallas, all the way from Dallas, all the way to Cebu City. I told him, man, jump on that. And he did. He booked it. He'll be here. He'll be in Cebu November 25th. And he's going to stay here for 2 months because this is his first visit to the Philippines. He's never been to the Philippines, so he wants to try it out. And I told him, more likely he'll stay here in Calibo, in Panay Island, because he wants to check all the places here, like the Canadian Beaver. He wants to go to Banate, Iloilo, because they have a crab festival. I guess he loves crabs. And the crab festival in Banate, Iloilo, it just happened to be like, I think December, during the time that he's here. So we'll be able to participate in that. It's a cool festival. It's like they line up the street. It's kind of boodle fight. I don't know if you know about boodle fight. Boodle fight, they set up this long table. They'll have rice, they'll have different food, and then the crab. And then people just stand in front of it and then just start eating with their hands. You can wear like plastic gloves, so, for hygiene. But man, it should be fun. And I told him, yeah, we'll go to that for sure, because I want to experience that too. Jody, Market. Hey, hi Ginno. Hey, hello Jody. Good rest. Yes, good rest, JP. Rest the back. Get well. You got a long flight next month, and it's like that's gonna be hard on the back sitting on that plane that long. So make sure you're all well rested before your long flight. Vincent, hey Vincent, would love to move to the Philippines and live like royalty, but my wife. Man, I don't think anybody really lives, you hear that term all the time, like live like a king. I don't think anybody's living like a king here in the Philippines. I wish, I don't know who created that, made up that word, but, we just live comfortable here. It's like, to me, it's not about the money in the Philippines. It's not about, I often talk about budget. Of course, the people I'm helping, a lot of them are coming here in a limited budget, Social Security alone. That's why they want to retire here. But really, it's not just the money issue or the budget. The Philippines is just more peaceful. That is the one thing that I think uh, nobody will argue. It's like, yeah, you see like political stuff like the corruption, but if you're an expat, even the locals here, they don't really, they know there's corrupt politicians here. They know that. That's been going on since I was a little kid, since the 70s. That's never going to change here. So you just don't involve yourself with it because like it's not going to affect you. It's like as expats, when you come here, you're American, Canadian, Australian, you're not going to get taxed here. It's like the taxes here, the only time you will get taxed is if you have income here, or if you start a business here, then you'll get taxed. But your pension, my military pension, never been taxed here in the Philippines. It's like they're happy for expats, Philippine Americans like me that work for over 30 years in the US that come back here. Why wouldn't they not want that? It's like we are spending our pension here. We are helping the economy here. It's like that's why there's a Philippine Retirement Authority encouraging SRRV. Digital nomads. If you're a digital nomads, they have a special deal for them now. They're encouraging people to come to the Philippines. Like I said, like yesterday, I mentioned it yesterday. I cannot think of a country in the world that welcomes Americans more than the Philippines. Even Mexico doesn't welcome Americans anymore. They're saying, I see signs say, go back, go home, gringo. You're not going to see that here in the Philippines. Filipinos have always gotten along, and many love Americans. They love Filipinos. Like you can talk to any Filipino, even Philams in the U.S. You can talk to them. Filipinos just love American goods, American cars, American trucks. It doesn't matter if it's American. Filipinos love it. I can see it in my neighborhood here. They're driving Ford F-150s here, a Ford Ranger. It's like all these American cars are in my neighborhood here, all the way here in the Philippines. They're buying like American vehicles. They don't even buy American vehicles like in Japan. I've never seen an American vehicle in Japan. Here in the Philippines, there's a Ford dealership here. There's a Chevy dealership here. Cars are being brought here from America. They just love Americans. But my wife, I know, Vincent, you're not alone. That's a dynamic that I've noticed that, it's like with a lot of Filipino Americans I have relatives in California. Same deal, Vincent, where the husbands, the Filipino husband and Filipino wife, the husbands want to all come back to the Philippines. They want to like go back to their childhood. Like me, for me, it's fun for me here because everything in the Philippines is what my childhood was. Everything, the food, the taho, the pandesal, the Christmas, the bibingka, the puto bongbong, all this food, all the experiences. It brings me back to my childhood. That's why I love it here. That's why I wanted to go back here. And for the guys, I know it's the same dynamic. Most of the guys in the U.S., especially when they're retired, they're like, man, I wish I can just retire in the Philippines. And the one thing that holding them back a lot of times is the wives. The wives don't want to come back to the Philippines because I understand, because it's like, they have all the luxuries. They're living in California. I have a cousin, lives in Rancho Cucamonga. She got a mansion. She got a swimming pool. She got maids coming in to clean her house. She's got a good life. So it's like, for her, it's like, why would I want to give this up? She drives her own car. Heck, she was driving, what was that? What's that vehicle? Elon Musk vehicle, the electric vehicle. He was driving one. She was driving one of those. I mean, where she can really. She did a video like a reels where she took her hands out and the car was driving by itself. She got that in California. Why would she want to come back here? She's saying because like, deal with like the congestion, because more likely they would have to live in BGC, because they have that high lifestyle. I cannot see my cousin, my rich cousin in California living in the province, without anything here, without all that, so I understand that dynamic where, once the Filipinas, when they get to the United States, not all now, not all, I'm not one to bash my Filipinas in the U.S. I know I got Rhea in Tennessee. I know she wants to come back here someday. But a lot of Filipinas, they get Americanized. They like all that. The spa. The things going on cruise in the United States, going to Hawaii on vacation. I understand that. So that's why it's hard for like the Filipino men, the Filipino Philams, to convince their wives to like move here to the Philippines. Gino, you're bloody right. You're bloody right. You're bloody right, mate. Hee hee. I know, man. I am. I'm having a lot more mates. I got British mates. I got like Australian, New Zealand. I'm international now. I'm international now, Daniel. Can't wait to see Brian Adams in Manila. Wow, Brian Adams. Ooh, I like Brian Adams. I've listened to Brian Adams music. JP, I want to go loopy. Oh, for sure. Well, maybe once you get your motorbike, JP. I mean, you can do it by yourself, of course, but it would be nice, right, to do it with a group, and we can get that organized. I know there's people interested. Or you can go with the Panay. It happened only like I would say less than a month ago. They started in Calibo. I think, my next video, you can kind of see it. There's actually like a group, there's motorcycle groups here, JP, and you can just join them. Both Filipino and expats, and they do that loop. I'll join the Facebook group. There's a Facebook group that like Aklan motorbike, motorcycle club. And they schedule rides all the time. Not a problem. If you want to do the Panay Island loop, many people do that. Actually, many people come from other islands to come here to do the loop, because I guess they do it for the entire Philippines. The Philippine loop, it's not just Panay Island. There's a group that goes to Negros. There's a group that goes to Mindanao. So I guess it's kind of like a badge of honor when they do the Panay loop. They put a patch on their vest. I mean, I guess it's kind of like that same dynamic, like the Harley Davidson. Hold on, let me open the door here. All right. HD, hey, greetings and salutations, HD. Wonderful weather we're having, right? HD is like bright and sunny again today, man. You wouldn't even think we had the typhoon a couple of days ago. It's so sunny this morning. JP, you can take your bike to 15 minutes ferry to Guimaras. And, I actually haven't really driven or been in Guimaras, so that'll be a good trip, JP, for sure. We can do that. We'll make that happen if you're interested. Guimaras is only like Fortune saying, it's only a 15-minute ferry from Iloilo. And then even after you've done the Panay loop, if you want to do the Negros loop, Negros on the Roro, it's about 3 to 4 hours on the roll on, roll off. You can put your motorbike on the ferry, land in Bacolod, and then from Bacolod do the Negros loop all the way to Dumaguete. I drove that. Bacolod to Dumaguete on the western side. Man, it took me like I think 8 hours, and it's a long trip. And that was in the car. I want a peaceful life, no drama, no red light district. I don't think I would find that yet. No, you won't. Any city here, JP, you're not gonna find that the peaceful life. I know once you get here in Aklan province, you will find that here. It's like Aklan just has that to offer. Between Aklan and Antique, those two. Some parts of Iloilo, outside of Iloilo City, you can find that peaceful life, and then Capiz outside Rojas City. But anywhere like Rojas City or Iloilo City, the kind of life, the peaceful life you're looking for, it would have to be the province. Somewhere here. I mean, there's like 17 municipalities here in Aklan. Kalibo probably like too fast paced for you. I mean, it's a good landing spot to get situated. But I'm thinking out of the other 16 municipalities, 16 other towns, you should be able to find something there that I think that will make you happy. David, if Dazzle worked, you'd be so bored. I know, right? And I would like if Dazzle worked in Boracay, I'd probably end up living in Boracay. Something. In Kalibo, there's not much work in Kalibo. Maybe Grand Gaisano Mall. The mall can only employ so much. There's no work. We don't have any industry in Kalibo. There's no call centers in Kalibo. The only work you would get is like in the service industry, restaurants, cafes, fast food, and the mall. And none of those are good paying jobs. You'll be lucky to make $200 or 10,000 pesos a month working at those places in Kalibo. So to me, not worth it, not worth it. JP, we can do a Wild Hog. All right, Wild Hogs. I remember that movie with John Travolta, Wild Hog. Wild Hog ride around with the Panay Posse. I know, once you get here, JP, once Daniel gets here, I know you all will have motorbikes. I'm actually been thinking, because like people have been asking me so much, are there rental places for motorcycle? And I did find one for Ryan. There's a Aklan place now that rents motorbikes, and they rent motorbikes, the smaller scooter, the 125cc Yamaha Mio, 450 a day, and then the Honda Click. The Honda Click is like the popular one, 650 pesos a day. So about $12, $10 to $12 a day. And actually, Dazzle, she wants to buy a motorbike just to rent to you guys. So I told her, well, up to you, babe. So she's been looking. She's been looking online. She's looking for a used one. But we might just buy a new, maybe like a one. I told her maybe the Honda Click, just because I think a lot of people like riding around on the Honda Click. Ruben bought a Honda Click. He's in Kalibo now. He's been in Kalibo now for 11 months. So now he's got a Honda Click. Veterans Day next week. All right. Thanks for the reminder, HD. I did remember that Veterans Day is coming up, HD, because somebody had asked me, can I post a picture of myself in my military uniform? And I do. I have two pictures. My basic training picture, I posted it, and then my retirement picture in the United States Air Force. So it did remind me that I usually put my basic training picture as my Facebook avatar, like my face profile picture during Veterans Day. Hello HD, G from JP. Smallest plaza, Trappist Monastery, Church, Lighthouse, Wind Farm, Mango. Oh yeah, man. That mango pizza, I keep hearing about this mango pizza, man. I have not had the mango pizza fortune, but I'm eager to try it. I've heard so many good things about that mango pizza that they have in Guimaras. And I know it's like this coming summer, 2026, I'm gonna make sure Dazzle and I go to Guimaras. Good AM, HD. HD said, hey, JP. Hello, Fortune. Need to get second pair of glasses for my trip, just in case. Yes. I always have like 3 pairs, man. I have a pair of glasses in my glove box on my car. I have a pair of glasses in my backpack, and the one I wear. Because you never know, right? You never know if you break it or you lose it or you sat on it, So I always have like extra pair of glasses. Good idea, Daniel. Sports, unit meet, then division, then regionals, then national palaro during. Yeah, so right now, when I come out of our house here, get to the plaza area at Liana School, man, there's like so many kids, and they're wearing like sports gear, like at the plaza, at the indoor basketball court, they're playing basketball and volleyball. So I think they having soccer at the Numancia Integrated School. So that's why they don't have school Thursday and Friday because they're using Leanna's school for the events. Is Stevie bringing fishing gear? I'm thinking he is. JP, because knowing Stevie, it's like Stevie's like he's been living in a van for like the last 6 months in Washington State, JP, and all the pictures that Stevie sends me, JP, he's like living, in his van, but he's sleeping like in camp, looks like camp, like by the lake, and how they have the fire pit, and it's like he's catching bluegill. Bluegill is like he likes to eat bluegill, I guess, and he's like grilling it on the fire. That's why he's been living for like the last 6 months. He's been working the last 6 months too, but he decided to get rid of his apartment and live in his van and live in his van to save money for this trip. Wow, fishing every day for Stevie. Oh yeah, Stevie's a fisherman. I know Steve, and I love Stevie's spirit. Stevie is like born and raised in Hawaii. He's a pure blood, I guess pure blood Hawaiian. He got that accent, when he talks, but he's a really good guy. He's a veteran too. He's a veteran. He was in the Air Force for I guess that's why we connected. He was in the Air Force for 4 years. Just a really good guy, really good guy. That's why I'm so eager to meet him, so eager to help him, find his life here in Aklan province. Ginno, one day maybe you can do a how-to video on the WhatsApp. I am still clueless. All right. I don't, I use it. I'll figure it out. I'll figure out WhatsApp. It's a lot of people just use WhatsApp here in the Philippines. I know this. Yeah, most people I know, the expats when they move here, they have a WhatsApp because you can just keep your number. You can just keep the number, or maybe start another WhatsApp with the Philippine number once you get here. For me, my WhatsApp number, Daniel, is my cell phone number with my carrier, Smart. So it's the same number. The country code is 63, and then my cell phone number. I like it because that's how people communicate with me. So many people, I got like, many, like over 50 contacts on WhatsApp that people contact me. No one's going to end. All right. How do you know that world's going to end? Okay. Sorry, Daniel, shipping some of my fishing gear in my balikbayan box to myself. All right. I have to find a good massage shop when I get there, or have Edgar find me a good Filipina who knows how. Not a problem here. Many in Calibo, there are many people that they actually do home service for the massage, or they have a place in Calibo. Ruben knows one. Ruben gets a massage once a week. He has a place near Pastrana Park that Ruben goes to that he likes. Ruben just enjoys the massage. He gets the full body massage, and every time he goes to Grand Gaisano, they have those massage chairs. And Ruben always sends me a picture when he's doing in the massage chair. He'll send me a picture of it. But massage is not a problem. Many that's pretty common. And the rates for the massage, the lowest you can get probably is like $350, which is about $7. But most of them are around 500 pesos or $9 for a full body massage. Different types. If you want shiatsu, Thai massage, you name it, you tell them, they know how to massage here. They're very experienced here regarding massage. Kasag Festival. Yeah, that one, the Banate, Iloilo, Fortune. That's what Brian, that's one of his bucket list items is that crab festival. I'd rather be poor and be surrounded by Filipina women. All right. I like that. I like that sentiment, my friend. Because, to me, what I've learned, it's like when I was in the US, I was like anybody else in the US. I was materialistic in the US. I had a military pension. I had a good paying job. I had a Mustang. I had a sports car. I had a house. I had Air Jordans. I had like all the gadgets and any new gadgets I'm buying electronic, because that's how I thought it was. For me, living in the U.S., I would watch sporting events live. I would go to Vegas. I would go to Cancun with my friends. To me, that was kind of like the way I thought I was supposed to live in America, right? It's like you're bombarded with like this information in America. Oh, I like that. I like that cool stuff. And that's how I lived my first. When I got in the military until I was 45 before I moved here. I was like, I was a typical American, typical American. I love my stuff, I love my stuff. I got a garage full of stuff. I never got to the level of like a storage unit, but there was a time when my garage, I could barely fit my Mustang in there because I got so much stuff. I had like two bikes. I had two road bikes and a mountain bike. I had 3 bicycles. What am I doing with 3 bicycles? It's like, and of course you got your lawnmower, you got a weed whack. I mean, I had all kinds of stuff in the garage. But, when I left the United States, when I moved here to the Philippines, I changed my life completely. It's like now you can see I live in a 430 square foot house with, there's 4 of us here. We got 1 bathroom, it's just that I've learned not to be materialistic anymore. I don't hunger for material things anymore. There's nothing I want to own. It's like there's nothing that, I must have that thing. I don't live like that anymore. And for me, it worked for me. Now, I know it's not for everyone. It's like I'm not telling you to live the same way I am. But for me, the material things, the chase for money, all that means to me now, all that means to me is stress. Now that I'm not chasing money anymore, I'm not chasing material things, I barely have any stress. It's like you can see every day. This is my routine. I'll wake up in the morning, have my cup of coffee, do the live stream. And then from there, I'll wait till Dazzle wakes up, Leanna wakes up, and see what we'll do for the day. If they want to go fishing, we'll go fishing. If they want to go to the beach, we'll go to the beach. If Dazzle wants to play pickleball, we'll play pickleball. To me, it's like that is priceless to me. It's just having my freedom, having the freedom to do things. And then I got so many good friends now. It's like Daniel, JP, Stevie, Brian. When they get here, I know they're going to be like my brothers, like Edgar is. Edgar's my brother, Grace, my brother, Mel's my brother from Atlanta. It's like when I see them, I'm happy to see them. I enjoy being with them. Oysters, shrimp, mussels, and crab until my eyes bulge out. All right, JP, you got to ease into it though, man, with all that seafood, because my friend Gray, he got carried away with the oysters, and sometimes you got it'll affect your stomach, so ease in. We got to ease you into like all the shell. I can't eat shellfish anymore, JP, because I'm allergic to them now because of my treatments, but. Just slowly into it, maybe with the oyster, maybe try the cook ones first before you get into like the raw oysters. It's like they make like oyster sisig here, mussel sisig, a combination of seafood in a hot plate. That way at least it kills whatever shellfish might have. It's like but plenty of seafood. That's not going to be a problem here. Like and subscribe, says Fortune. You can do that, JP, in Dumaguete, Iloilo, then Roa City, Capiz, and Washington. The seafood centers, yeah. I mean, seafood is not a problem. That is one thing, guaranteed. You're not gonna see more seafood than Panay Island. That's why Roa City is known in the entire Philippines as the seafood capital of the Philippines, because Panay Island is just, we're surrounded by water. It's like there's so many fishermen here, so many, all kinds of fish. It's like in Antique province, man, they're like giant sized tuna, yellowfin tuna, mackerel, big fishes, 50 pounders, 100-pounder fish they catch in Antique. So not a problem. If you're into seafood, not a problem here. Will be an awesome place to do the keto diet. I don't know the keto. I don't know. I do not know that. Actually, Daniel, I have never been on any diet in my entire life. I am on like the low protein diet because of my doctor now, but like some of those lose weight diet, keto, all meat, I've never done any diet. Obviously, you can see, man. I'm like a buck 48, man. I'm 5'10", buck 48, man. I don't weigh much, So I've always been able to eat whatever I want. I guess I'm blessed. I'm blessed that way. Good day, everyone. Ruda. All right, Ruda. Tesla, that's the thing. Yeah, she had one of those Teslas, and aloha from Oahu. All right, Hickam Air Force Base. All right, Derek. Now I know. I see you all the time, Derek. But now I know you're in Oahu. My best friend lives there in Mililani. He comes here and visits me. I would say. Since I've been living here in Aklan, I've been living here 14 years. My friend from Hawaii's been here 10 times. There's during pandemic was the only time he wasn't visiting me, but almost every year my friend from Hawaii comes here. We hang out in Boracay. He hangs out here in Kalibo with me. JP, Daniel, how about instead of wild hogs, we called it the wild lechon? The wild lechon, hey man. Hey, JP, our town of Numancia, we're like known as the lechon capital of Aklan. We actually have a lechon festival here. So I think it's around March or April. So it's during the summer months, but we have a parade of lechon that here in the plaza area, and they go to the covered court, and everybody just eats lechon. Everybody just eats lechon. They dress up the lechon. Everybody dresses up. Even the tricycle, they decorate it. A little parade, small town type of parade. We got that. We got festivals here. All the barangays in our town, all the barangays in Aklan province got fiesta. There's always fiesta here. There is not a month here in Aklan province that there's no fiesta. And fiesta, what it has is, it'll have a dance. It'll have a nighttime dance, live band, a lot of drinking, of course, a lot of food. And each of the barangays in Aklan province, they all do a fiesta here. Oh, my dog, you want to go out? Wait, no, she's laying down. All right, there's Mom. Hey, good morning, Mom. Good morning, Mom. Good AM to all. See, everybody's waking up now. It's 7:30. Hey, Ted and LV. I was lucky LV wanted to come back after 14 years. Yes, you are lucky, my friend, because the thing I've seen is more, I think it's with like the Philippine Americans. I guess because they've been Americanized, and a lot of them, they're just having a hard time convincing their wives to move back to the Philippines. And I can see that because, in the U.S., for a Filipina that's lived in the U.S. for many years, you have your own car, you have your own freedom, you got your malls, you got your nail salon, your massage, you got that, you got that independence. Here in the Philippines, for a Filipina to come back here, the driving's going to be a challenge for them because they've never, a lot of them never driven here in the Philippines. And driving here in the Philippines is way different than driving in America. It's like in America, the Filipinas feel safe about driving. There's order, there's discipline. Parking areas are like designated, nicely striped parking. Here in the Philippines, and driving and parking here, anywhere pretty much you go, it's chaos. It's an organized chaos is what I call it here. Driving and parking your car here. I mean, they park cars here on sidewalks. There is like, you see no parking signs everywhere in Kalibo, but every there's like motorbikes parked in it, tricycles parked in it, cars, trucks. They like park their car. Here's the sidewalk, and the big truck will like eat eat like the sidewalk where there's nobody, no place for the people to walk because the big old F-150 Ford Rangers, like half of the truck is like parked on the sidewalk. You know, that stuff happens here. Like I said, this is the wild, wild west here in Panay Island. And I'm sure you've seen it. You've seen it not just on my videos, on James and Karen's Adventures videos. You've seen it in that Philippines Live videos of Roa City. It's just like, you know, there's rules here and rules and regulation, laws, but, you know, people just like, well, it don't apply to me. You know, it's like selected laws that they follow here. Lowell, kumusta? Kumusta, Lowell? Good morning. God bless, my brother. Hope you're getting well, Lowell. I know there's recovery. Get well, my brother. Praying for you. I'm praying for you, my brother. Hopefully, you're getting all healed up, you know, post-surgery and all that. Take care, Lowell. March to May. Dimaras as Manggahan Festival. Woo, man, I gotta hit that this 2026, Fortune. You're gonna see me vlog that. You're gonna see me do the Gimaras. Good AM, Ted. Good morning, Fortune. Ruben, hey, there's Ruben, man. Ruben, good morning. Calibons, all right. Ruben's a local now, man. Ruben's like hanging out with the OGs. Ruben's hanging out with the OGs of Calibo, man. Ruben's got, you know, he knows the original gangsters, you know, retired engineers, retired politicians. You know, it's like their favorite spot is Dunkin' Donuts. You know, it's like they eat Dunkin' Donuts and drink Dunkin' Donut coffee. They do have good coffee at Dunkin' Donuts. That's a regular spot for Ruben. Good AM, Ruben. Good for you, Ted and LV. Boy, we had crazy thunderstorms pass through Cebu and Bohol last night. Oh, wow. Yeah. Over here, no rain. The past 2 days, it's been super sunny. Like right now, I'll show you really quick how sunny it is here. It's like beautiful, gorgeous day here, man. It's gonna be like an awesome day for sure. Oop, I think Totoy wants to go outside. Oh, you see, yeah, Totoy don't want to like. Here, Totoy. Hold on. Let me get my slippers. Hold on, Totoy. But like bright. Ooh, wow, that sun is intense already. It's only 7:34 in the morning. But look at that sun, man. Let's see. Can you guys see that? Man, it's like bright. There's my dog, Totoy. Hey, Toy. Neighborhood, all quiet in the neighborhood. My neighbor, 3 doors down, they're building the addition. So looks like they're almost done. I'm gonna have to check it out. See if he'll let me film it. But really quiet in the neighborhood. Nanay there, she's trimming her little yard grass area there. She's using scissors. Using scissors to cut the little patch of grass there. But look at that, man. Just a bright sunshine, no clouds. It's like blue skies, just like all blue skies. Quiet in the neighborhood as usual. Come on in, Totoy. Time to go back in. I use my Blue Yeti to like secure my phone. It holds my phone. That's my trick. And then I just adjust it. Good morning, hello, hey, my good friend in Angeles City in Pampanga. JP, hello, Ruben. You're gonna meet Ruben, and I think when you arrive, Ruben's gonna be back in San Diego, but he's gonna be back here, I think, in January. I think Ruben said he's gonna skip Ati-Atihan in January because he's seen it. He's seen Ati-Atihan already. He's seen the amount of people that are in Calibo during Ati-Atihan. So he's gonna come back to Calibo after Ati-Atihan. Howdy, Lowell. I have to admit, I do miss your morning walks to All right, I will do it tomorrow. Since you missed it, JP, I'm gonna make a video in just your honor. I'm gonna walk to 7-Eleven tomorrow morning and get my French vanilla brewed coffee. I do miss it too. I do miss that. We have been stopping at 7-Eleven, not as often. I know Mom, Basil, and Leanna, they go often, but I haven't stopped at 7-Eleven much lately. They like going there for the drinks. Leanna, Mom said, Mom's laughing.
Yesterday, about 8:30.
About 8:30, you went there? You went to, what did you guys get?
Liana get some, what we call the drinks.
Drinks, she got her vitamin drink.
Vitamin boost.
Vitamin boost. Leanna likes a vitamin boost drink. Mom and Dazzle, different drinks. It's probably soju. You get it?
I get cashew nuts.
Cashew nuts.
What is it? I forgot.
That's all right. That's all right. But that's where they get their soju. But did you buy soju? You didn't get. You didn't do karaoke. You didn't go do karaoke, so probably no soju. Derek, you must had a huge, gigantic garage sale when you moved. I did, man. I just got rid of so much stuff, man. Like I remember washer and dryer, even my refrigerator, couch, and I gave away a lot of stuff. It's like because some of it I just left on the. You know how people in the U.S. Like on your yard in front of your house, you just start leaving there, put a sign free, and they disappear. It's like I don't know who took them, but I just start doing that, and then all my memorabilia in the military. I was active duty in the United States Air Force for 20 years, so. For people in the military, we accumulate so much stuff. I call it stuff in the military, plaques, different awards, shadow box, souvenirs, coins, all kind. Man, I gave it all away because I wasn't gonna carry all that stuff with me. Lug it around in boxes. I told myself when I left the U.S. I was leaving all that stuff behind. I was going to start a new life in the Philippines. Willie, it's been a while. How is your health? I'm good, man. I mean, like, look at me, man. It's like I went from 3 years ago. Was that 3 years? About 2.5 years ago, I got down to like 119 pounds. 119 pounds after my treatment. And now I'm 148. I'm working out at the gym. I'm walking. I haven't been running yet, but in time, I'll get back to running. I hope I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm blessed, brother. I'm blessed. Thank you for asking, Willie. JP, I will have to get myself in lechon shape. All right, man. I don't think there's a lechon shape, JP. I think lechon is like one of those things, man. You just gotta have it, A lot better than balut. A lot better than balut. It's hard to resist lechon, especially, man, when it's like the whole pig and you can just see that crispy chicken. I like the rib part. I don't like the white meat so much on the lechon. Because sometimes there's like thick portions of like white meat. I like the rib section. There's like the rib of the pork. I usually have them cut the rib section. It's like eating, like that meat from the ribs is just so delicious and tender and juicy. That's my favorite part. And of course, man, I have a little bit of the skin. The skin you can't not have. Usually, when you see a whole roast pig here, everybody just start eating the skin. The whole pig loses all its skin. The skin's so crispy and good, but you can't. You gotta you got a lot of cholesterol, on that skin. So everything in moderation. Everything in moderation. Whatever that is. Lechon shape. Belus, hey, good morning, Belus, my good brother in Leyte. Hope you have, yes, I know I'll have a wonderful day, man. I mean, just look at the amazing sunshine, man. It is like so bright and sunny. Man. Look at that, how bright and sunny it is already. These days, you really appreciate it, especially after the typhoon, when it's all of a sudden a sunny day like this. It's so tempting to go to the beach, So tempting to go fishing. I know Dazzle and Mom, they just went fishing a couple of days ago, but would not surprise me if Dazzle tells me they want to go fishing again. Good morning, Angelie.
Hello.
Right there, JP said, good morning, Mom.
Morning.
She's making coffee for herself. She's making coffee. Mom is also using the French vanilla. She drinks whatever I drink. Alan, howdy, Ginno. Happy Friday. Ooh, I forgot it is Friday. I forgot it is Friday today. When I have school, Leanna doesn't have school, I lose track of the days here. I have to be reminded what day it is. Getting ready for the cold front coming through this weekend. Wow, cold front. We are expecting a 20-degree drop. I hate the cold. Oh, wow. And he's in Texas. Alan is in Texas. But I do know it gets cold in Texas. When I lived in San Antonio, Texas, there's days when they had like what is that? That ice storm. They have ice storms in Texas. It gets hot, really hot during the summer in Texas. But it also, it doesn't cold like snow, but it gets like freezing temperature. JP, maybe Dazzle can shoot a short at 7. We can. We'll do that. I'll have her. That's easy enough to film like a short. Well, on their next trip there, I'll tell her to just make like a 1 minute video at 7-Eleven. They're always there. they're always at 7-Eleven. Leanna's always like she like, let's go to 7-Eleven. Leanna's all like, she tries all that. Her favorite is the Vita Boost,
Yeah.
lychee flavors like her favorite drink. And then there's other drinks there, of course. She likes the one of the drinks she likes is like the aloe vera drink. It's from Korea, aloe vera drink. I know, even I like that drink, aloe vera drink. I know, you wouldn't think aloe vera drink would taste good because when I first saw it, it's like aloe vera drink, but when I tasted it, and it even have chunks of aloe vera in it, and it's delicious. And they sell it at 7-Eleven. You look great, Willie. Thank you, Willie. Appreciate that, my friend. Guitar, hello, guitar. Hello, kumusta na ang lahat? Mabuti naman, David. Maaraw dito ngayon, mainit. Gonna be mainit today, but it's gonna be a good day. Gonna be a good day, David. Preach, Godfrey, preach. All right, preach, Godfrey, preach. All right, Robert. AZ gets cold. Was sick there. Yeah, I know. I remember when I used to ride road bikes there, Belus. I was heavy into road cycling when I was in Arizona, my 7 years there. I did a couple of the El Tour to Tucson, 100-mile bike race in Tucson. I've done a couple of those. And I would ride my bike summer in the heat, winter when it's cold. I had all the gear, long sleeve. And I was all decked out. And it's like I pretty much did most of Arizona, like Tombstone, Bisbee, Casa Grande, Phoenix, of course, like all the different rides, all the different bike rides that they had there. And I also was big into mountain biking. So I would mountain bike and go mountain bike in the desert, go like deep in the desert, follow trails with my friends, sleep under in the desert under the sky at nighttime. Great experiences. I love my time in Arizona. I enjoyed my time there, but it does get cold. It did snow in Tucson. Especially we actually had like in Tucson at Mount Lemmon. There's actually a ski lodge there. You can go skiing in Mount Lemmon in Arizona. You wouldn't think there would be skiing in Arizona because it's desert, but there is. There's skiing there. I've gone. Not skiing, but mountain, boarding there. Wyoming, cold. Yeah, I know. The Wyoming cold is a different level. I know that, Delise. From your, I've heard that. I've never been to Wyoming, but I from what I've seen about Wyoming and from your videos that you shared, Minnie, that's another level cold. That's kind of like because it's the wind. I'm sure it's the wind that like gets you. Worse than Alaska? Do you like Christopher? Oh yeah, I like Christopher Walken. That guy that he talks kind of slow. That very distinct voice. Christopher Walken. Good actor, good actor. I haven't seen him late. I mean, he's got to be up there now in age, but I like how he talks really slow. You know it's Christopher Walken when he talks. Tucson, too hot. We were in mountain at the mine. Oh, all right, all right. I remember my coworker, her husband worked at least 20 years in San Manuel in Arizona. He was a miner. He was a miner, and then he got tired of mining because I know that's got to be a hard life, a hard work mining. So he became radiology tech. He went back to school after 20 years in the mine. He went to school to become a radiology tech. And then he ended up working for a hospital where my friend, she was a nurse, and then he was a radiology tech. Yep, Belu's too hot in the summer, pretty cold in the winter. Alan, we heard that Auckland government voted down the Boracay Bridge. Yes, I saw that yesterday. That's not the first time. That's not the first time the provincial government of Auckland voted the bridge down. But it's not dead yet. I think that's like the third time they tried to stop the bridge. But I don't know how to hold the dynamic about that. I'm sure it's all political. I'm sure it has to do with money. Because the bridge is going to be built by San Miguel Corporation, but San Miguel's a private enterprise, so they'll charge people to use the bridge. But I'm sure there's maybe I know Auckland province, they're concerned, environmental concern, and they're concerned about the boat people, all the ferries, all the boat that transport people from mainland to they're gonna lose jobs, is what they're saying. But to me, if you ask me my personal opinion, I'm for the bridge. To me, it's so inefficient the way they move people now from mainland Auckland to Boracay Island. And then during typhoons, during the minute they declare signal number 1, no ferries. You can't even get to Boracay. Or if you're in Boracay, you're stuck in Boracay. It's like if you have a vacation plan in Boracay, you land in Caticlan, you land in Calibo, you're going to Boracay, they cut the ferry for like 2-3 days. There goes your vacation, or you could be vacation in Boracay and then ending up spending more money. But I guess that's not a bad deal. If you got to extend your vacation in Boracay, that's not a bad deal. But there's just a lot of inconveniences. Every year there's electricity problem with Boracay because the electricity in Boracay comes from the mainland, and they have I guess like a pipe, like I'm sure rubber pipe or whatever, electricity running to Boracay, and almost every year that thing gets damaged. Almost every year Boracay loses electricity for a few days, sometimes a week. So to me, there's just so many things that they can improve by, if they build the bridge, all the electricity, all the cables, they can attach the bridge, protect it, that way Boracay doesn't lose any electricity. Just a lot of things. And it's not like they're gonna let, people are saying, well, Boracay is gonna be overcrowded with vehicles. They're not gonna let you drive your car to Boracay. The plan is there's gonna be an entry point in the mainland, an entry point in Boracay. You can catch like the e-trike. They'll just drop you up on the other end, and the e-trike just keeps circling back, and you can walk. You can ride your bicycle, no motorbikes. You can ride your bicycle. You can walk to Boracay. So to me, there's just too many pluses, I think. If they're worried about employment for the boat people, you can come up with other, tour, island hopping tours, or, you can find employment for those boats, I think. Maybe they can use the money to build a new airport and fix the jetty port. Okay. As far as I know San Miguel is building a new airport in Caticlan. The jetty port doesn't get improved because the money to build it comes from the provincial government, so, and the provincial government, the money that they make from the port, they prioritize the hospital. There's a provincial hospital here in Calibo that gets majority of the money. That's the way I understand it. Definitely can improve the port. That they definitely can improve that, but that's above my pay grade. That's all political here. Anytime anything to do with fixing. But I think you can't go wrong if it's San Miguel Corporation, airport wise, bridge wise, because it's a private company. San Miguel's not going to go in there and do a poor job about anything, because they want to make money off it. They're going to charge toll. They're going to charge people transporting garbage, whatever, supplies to Boracay. I'm sure they're going to get their money back. So they're going to do a good job. Whatever the San Miguel Corporation builds here in the Philippines, they're top rate. The problem here is the government projects. As you can see with the flood projects and all that. There's a lot of corruption in that. San Miguel Corporation, they're a money making machine in the Philippines. They're the beer company, San Miguel Beer. They're building roads, airports, bridges here. San Miguel is not doing that. They're doing that to make money. And they know how to make money, so they do a good job whatever they build here. When it's I do not have a problem when I see San Miguel Corporation plans on building something. I know it's gonna come out well. It's the projects that the government builds. It's like that runs into trouble because corruption always in the government here, and I think everybody knows that. I think that happens anywhere in the world, not just the Philippines. There's just corruption in government, period. Nothing we can do about that. I was TDY to Misawa. Oh, nice. Oh, I love my time in Misawa. Oh, it's cold, man. Misawa is cold, man. You're going to like a cold climate assignment in the military. When you get to the base, and they issue you long johns, they issue you a parka, they muckaluk boots, gloves, I'm like, oh, I've never got issued these things, in the military. They issue it to you because the parka, you can put your rank on the parka. So that was the only assignment I had in the military where they issued me a parka. So I knew it was going to be cold. I knew it was going to be cold in Misawa, in northern Japan. Christopher Walken made an alien movie that scared me so much when I was a teen. When I watched that movie, all right. I'm trying to remember some of the movies that I've seen. Christopher Walken movies. I just can't get, because he's a cool cat. To me, he's always been a cool dude. Christopher Walken always kind of walks smooth. Talks at his own pace. He's just a cool cat, man. John Vasquez, Alien, that's funny. I heard MacArthur owned stock in MacArthur. Oh, I'm sure. San Miguel Corporation is just so big. It's like one of the biggest companies here in the Philippines. They're not just a beer company. They got a food department. They got construction. There's a big corporation now. Alan, maybe I can be a project manager for the bridge build. I hear there is good money in it. LOL joke. Oh, I'm sure. Like I said, San Miguel Corporation is not going to go into into something that they're not going to be able to make money. Airport. There's a reason why San Miguel Corporations building roads here. There's a reason why they're building bridges. There's a reason why they're building airports here. They're not doing it not for profit. San Miguel Corporation is all about making money. I think you can buy a stock in San Miguel Corporation. So they're all about making dollar. Making pesos. Boats can be a pain for sure. Storms, tickets sold. I know. It's so inefficient, man. There's times, I've ridden the ferry where, there's no typhoon, but the waves are strong. the boats that they use, they're doing this, you know, you're kind of worrying. And then when you're like, when you get on, you have to get on the ferry, they got this plank. They got this plank that you either got to walk up or walk down. And it's all like with the tide, with the waves, it's like moving. And if you're carrying your luggage, you're going like this, you know, getting on the boat, you know, it's like not the safest experience, that's for sure. And then the chaos at the port, you know, you got to pay your environmental fee, you got to pay your terminal fee, you got to pay, and at different windows, you know, it's not just one window that you got to pay this thing, the boat fee. There's registration, like they're asking you for a hotel, asking for ID. There's a line for like scanning your bags. I mean, it's just like there's a, you know, you feel like you're going like in an airport. You know, like when you're traveling. What is that? The airport security. You feel like, and then when you get to the boats, you know, the boats are you know, they're not like the most fanciest boats. You know, you get in there during the summer. If you go on the boats during the ferry in the summer, there's no air condition, and you're like in this boat crammed with all these people. The boat's moving, and it is hot. It is hot in that boat, man. So to me, it's just too many inefficiencies. That's why I'm for the bridge. LB, still have no power here. Wow. No power still in Northeast Bowl. Probably a lot of down power lines, I'm sure, Ted. 4 days now. Hope you get it back today. Wow, 4 days. I've been there, Ted. You know, here in Numancia back in 2019, we didn't have electricity for like 7 days. It's not bad when you lose electricity when it's kind of cloudy, raining. At least it's not hot. But when it gets sunny like this and you don't have electricity, man, it gets hot. Your house turns into like an oven. It turns into like a sauna in the house without electricity. That's why I'm thinking of putting in some solar, man. Some solar just to power a refrigerator and a few fans, just in case we go through. And then it'll cut down on the electricity bill. I got my electricity bill. I just got my electricity bill. I think it was $4,000. Yeah, it was $70 for the past month. So if I can cut down on some of my electricity costs, 4,000 pesos, about $70 for my electricity for the month. LB, best 2 days of boat owners, the day you buy it and the day you sell it. So they say, I've heard of that, Ted. I've heard of that. It's a lot of work. Boats are a lot of work. I know that because you got to dry dock it, you got to condition all the time because a lot of maintenance involved with boats. I was at one time when we had the resto bar in Malay, when we had the resto bar. Dazzle, you know, she wanted to get one of those parao sailboats, the one without the engine, with the thing, and we were actually inquiring about it. But I've noticed, like the guys that own the parao, there's just a lot of maintenance because it's maintaining the wood, and then with all the rain that we get here, it's a lot of work. A lot of boats are definitely a lot of work. No power here either. Wow, no power in Leyte also. They said about a week. That means 2 weeks. We burn about $20 US a day in diesel for fuel. It will nice to get for sure. At least you got the generator, Belus. At least, you know, I know that's a big help. Yep, Belus. Whatever they tell you, factor 2 times. Yeah, it is. That's the island time. Anytime they tell you here, or if you get like a construction people building something, you know, like I'm about to get the addition room here down here. If they tell me, oh yeah, we can get it done in 3 weeks, it's gonna be 6. It's gonna be 6. Double, at least double. Anything here, they don't stick with like what is that estimated time of completion, or it's always like there's always a delay. They're always gonna tell us, oh, they ran out of cement. Oh, they ran out of sand. Oh, they ran out of something. You know, you always gotta wait for something. Christopher Walken, 1989, Communion. All right, I'll have to check that out, man. I know I haven't seen that movie, man. I haven't seen that movie. The Communion. I'll take a picture of that way. I'll look it up. I'll look it up on Netflix to see if I can watch that movie. What is the dollar to peso exchange rate? All right, let me check that out. Let me see how much. I know it's been hovering 58 to 59. Ooh, wow, pretty good. That's pretty good. 58.93, almost 59. That is awesome. You know, it's like the all-time high is about 59.2, something like that. So, man, this is just like amazing how high the rate is. You know, a lot of people here in the Philippines, not just the expats that live here, a lot of people here, like in my neighborhood here, they rely on that remittance from their spouses work in the Middle East, in Europe, in America, that remittance coming here. So a lot of people here, they're happy when it's like a high exchange rate. But from what I've seen here in the Philippines, this November, come December, because of all the balikbayan Filipinos coming back home, OFWs, overseas Filipino workers, a lot of vacationers coming to the Philippines for December, for the holidays. A lot of people bringing in dollars here. So there's a tendency come December, that exchange rate will drop a little. So keep that in mind. You know, if you got dollars right now, holding dollars here in the Philippines, might not be a good time. It might be a good time to exchange. I did already. Whatever dollars I had, I switched it to pesos already. The exchange rate is how many pesos you can get for $1. Correct, David. Right now, 58.93. My friend, Joel, he's in Arizona. He told me yesterday he got 59. He got an exchange rate of 59 because he's coming here in January, so he's already preparing. He's exchanging his money, and he was able to get 59. Usually, if it's 58.93, the banks will give you a little lower, maybe 58.50. The money exchanges here in Calibo, you can get right at that exchange, or sometimes a little higher even. They want your dollars here, that's for sure. They want crisp, mint condition $100 bills. If there's like a fold, a stapler on it, anything that's not mint condition on the $100, they're not going to replace. They're not going to exchange it. And if you have a $50 bill, $20 bill, $5 or $1 bill, they give you a less exchange. It's the $100 bills they love here in the Philippines. Belus, we do fast craft, always late to Cebu. Buy you a float plan in Alaska. That was our taxi. I never worry here about boats. I can't sink here. Too much salt in the sea. Have to grab rock to dive. Oh yeah, that's right. You have to wear weights, like a weighted belt to go scuba diving here. I've ridden the fast craft. I like the fast crafts. I've ridden that from Iloilo to Bacolod, 2 hours by fast craft. I rode Cebu City to Tagbilaran City in Bohol, 2 hours. Those fast crafts are awesome, and I've ridden them inside air conditioned. I've also ridden them top side, where open air. Both are fun. If you can ride the fast craft, prefer that's better than riding the Roro. Roro is like the slowest boat you'll ride, because they have vehicles there. You can put your car, put your motorbike in the Roro. Roll on, roll off. The fast craft are better because it's mostly people. Mostly people and cargo goes in the fast craft. JP, yep, 50. That's what I got. JP, 58. Man, that is just awesome, man. That is a high exchange rate. For me, anything over 55 is good. But man, 58.93. For every $1,000, if it's 55, that's 55,000 pesos. So if it's a 59, almost a 59, that's an extra almost 4,000 pesos, man. That's a lot. That's a lot here. Tap. Send me the best rate for sending right now, 58.50. All right, Ellen. Like I said, my friend Joel, a couple of days ago, he sent money to the Philippines and he was able to get 59. I don't know what he used. Belus, not sure they make it home this year. I hope the USA will aid the Philippines on some of the disaster. Wow, I'm always under in Cebu, but close. Fast, okay, has nicer seat, but a little bit more. Yeah, yeah. The air condition a bit more than the, but it's nice. The fast crafts got a TV. They'll play a movie, comfortable seats. You can recline it. It's almost kind of like being in a plane. And then you don't feel the waves unless it's really strong waves. They run pretty smooth. The fast craft. Is sending 150 US a lot of money to send for one person? 150, that's about 7,000, I think. No, that's not a lot of money. I think you can start talking about a lot of money when you send somebody here $1,000, like 58,000 pesos. That's when you get $150. Even here, that's not a lot anymore. It's like prices have gone up like anywhere else. The Philippines is cheaper, but there's things here that are quite expensive. I think like hotels here a lot more expensive than the hotels in Thailand. Eating out at nice restaurants, can be pricey here. It's not all cheap in the Philippines. It's like I know you hear that. I know you hear, but cafes now here. There's a lot of cafes. The barista. You're paying now like 120 pesos for a nice cup of coffee. So about $2.25. So it's not super cheaper. I'm sure like if you go in the US, a cup of coffee, barista coffee is like $5-6. So a little bit cheaper, but there are things here in the Philippines, especially if you live in a city. If you live in BGC, man, it's not cheap to live there. Everything there is more expensive. If you eat at a restaurant in BGC, you're looking at least, I would say $15-20 per person. If you're eating at a restaurant, you'll spend money. In the province, it's a lot cheaper. Like here, I can take mom, Dazzle, Liana, and I, the four of us, can eat on $18 here at a nice restaurant or cafe. I can take them to Cafe Latte, Tierra Vega Cafe restaurant where the four of us can eat for $18. You can't do that in Manila. You can't do that in BGC. That's for one person. Just depends, it depends where you are in the Philippines. Most of the times you'll end up spending more money for housing, more money for restaurants, more money for everything if you're in a city. Manila being the highest price, like BGC, Cebu City probably second as far as expensive. Iloilo a little bit cheaper. Like I know the housing in Iloilo, like the condominiums in Iloilo, because I've helped people move into condos in Iloilo. A 1-bedroom condo, American Western Standard in Iloilo is about 25,000 pesos, about $450. You can't get that in BGC. You're looking at double that at least. At least the lowest I've seen at BGC, maybe $800, over 40,000 pesos for a condo and up all the way to like $2,000 if you want like a nice 2-bedroom 2-bath. You're looking at close to 2,000. So there's areas that are expensive, then there's areas that are cheaper. Like here in the province of Aklan, you can find good housing here at low cost if budget is a concern. That's why I'm able to help people move here. I'm able to find them a good price on an apartment here. LB, Flyboy, just 58. It's not a lot. About 8K pesos. Yeah, that's not, under $50. It says here for one person, that's not a lot. Like it's hard to find now, even here in Aklan province, for like 8,000 pesos an apartment. That's how much I found the apartment for Stevie. His a furnished studio apartment here in Aklan is 8,000 pesos is what I found for Stevie, and that's hard to find. That's hard to find now, even here. The Philippines is cheaper than America, but It's not, way cheaper. You can live here in a budget. You can live here, like I said before. If you're collecting Social Security alone, that's your main income. Coming here, $1,700, $1,800, you can find a good life here in Aklan province. Maybe not in BGC. It's $1,700, $1,800. That's gonna be tight. That's gonna be tight budget in BGC in Manila. Leyte is off the chart cost way. You have loopholes on everything or go broke very fast. The key is ordering in most things but food. We grow a lot of rice and offer it less to the belly. Yeah, yeah. I've never been there. I've never been to Leyte. I know it's kind of harsh conditions, right, Belus? I know Samar, especially Samar, maybe not Leyte, maybe a little more, but they're a hard life for people. Low income, I know, for Samar, because a lot of people leave Samar to go to the cities to work like as domestic helpers, so I guess there's just not enough infrastructure in Samar. Maybe Leyte having more. I have seen like videos of Maasin. There's more in Leyte, but Samar seems to be just not a lot of infrastructure, so not a lot of jobs. So people end up going to Cebu, going to the big city to find jobs, go overseas, become domestic helpers in Hong Kong, Singapore. How is your island holding up with the recent typhoon? We were lucky. Our Panay Island actually was on the path of Typhoon Ginno. It made landfall in Iloilo City and then left like San Jose, Antique, but we did not suffer the floods at all like Cebu City. Most people have seen the damage in Cebu City. We didn't have that flooding. Iloilo City didn't show any flooding. No damage from the winds. The whole Panay Island, we didn't. You see like down the banana trees. You see some minor damage. No flooding at all. No flooding where it damaged houses or anything like that. So we were blessed, and that's usually normal actually here in the Philippines. Panay Island, we're in Western Visayas. We don't get hit by a lot of typhoons. Actually, Typhoon Ginno, which was the number 20th typhoon, is the first typhoon that made landfall in Panay Island this year. None of the other 19 typhoons made landfall here in Panay Island. I know like Panay Island, Negros Island, where Dumaguete is, Bacolod, Iloilo, all this area, Western Visayas for us. Dumaguete is considered Central Visayas. They get spared a lot here when it comes to typhoons. We're just blessed that way. It's usually Eastern Visayas that gets hit a lot here. Samar, Leyte area, then Cebu, and then it goes northwest to like Central Luzon, Bicol region, if you're living in Bicol region, and then the worst part in the Philippines is Northern Luzon. If you live like in Cagayan, Ilocos Norte, Batanes, that area, that's like a hurricane alley here in the Philippines. They get hit. There's one now coming. It'll be here probably Sunday. Typhoon Uwa, UWA. Looks like, again, Northern Luzon in the Cagayan area is where it's going to hit. But, that's why you got to do your research. People think all the Philippines get hit with typhoon. Probably correct. But there's just areas like in the United States. If you live in California, pretty good chance you're not going to get a hurricane in California. Same thing here. There's areas in the Philippines that don't get. But if you live in Florida in the United States, chances are you're gonna see, or Texas, you're gonna see a hurricane come through that area. It's the same dynamic in the Philippines. There are areas. Like I said, Western Visayas, Central Visayas, Dumaguete, Bacolod, Iloilo, we don't get hit as much. But we still get hit, but not as much as the other areas. Belus, all of Leyte hard go. They charge way more. To me, not good for. We are growing slow, very slow, like turtle. Yeah, I guess because, it's that's the thing about the islands, right, Belus? The islands, the Philippines, it's just, we're so separated, everything's like 7,000 islands, in the Philippines. So a lot of times, like in Boracay, everything costs more in Boracay because everything's got to be shipped there. I know, like when I'm in Iloilo City, the gasoline and everything's cheaper in Iloilo City than here in Calibo. I would pay if in Iloilo City right now, I might pay 56 per liter, 57 per liter on gasoline. Here in Calibo, I'll pay 61 or 62 because they have a port. They have a port in Iloilo, so that's where gasoline gets dropped for a whole Panay Island. So of course, I'm paying for transportation from Iloilo on the tankers to bring the gasoline here. And the same thing, like cars. Like when I bought my car here, my Toyota Wigo, brand new, I had to pay like 20,000 pesos, about $350 shipping on the car because the car had to come from Manila. In the province here, when you go to the car dealerships here in the province, here in Aklan, all the cars they have at the dealership are display. It's on the showroom. There's not cars parked outside where you can test drive. I have never seen anybody test drive a car here when I bought the car new. So basically, you're just looking at that. You can sit in the car inside the showroom and then you order the car and they will charge you about $350 to ship the car over here to Panay Island from Manila or Cebu. You know, it depends where the car is coming from. All right, I got to the bottom. I got to the bottom of the comments. All right, I think I hit all the topics I wanted to discuss this morning. 8:18, pretty early still for me to end the live stream here. I just want to make sure I hit all my notes. Like I said, you know, like with that first, when I talk about the hidden costs of the Philippines, when you first initially come to the Philippines, like that newbie from the United Kingdom, he just got here. Of course, your expenses will be more when you first land here. A lot of that is just by experience too. When you first land to the Philippines, you're not gonna know the correct prices of different items. The longer you stay here in the Philippines, what you're gonna realize, your budget is gonna get lower. You're gonna start eating more Filipino food. You're gonna know where to shop for cheaper vegetables, cheaper fruits. Maybe you'll decide, you know, initially when you move here, you're in a city, then you a lot of times this is common. I see this with many expats that move here. Of course, they want to land in Cebu City, Dumaguete City, Angeles City, because there's a lot of expats there. They cater to expats in those areas. They want to land in those areas. More convenience, more Western type living. But what I notice is a lot of expats, the longer they stay in the Philippines, they move away from those areas and find places that are more peaceful, more country style living, province style living. And you can understand why, right? Because if this is your first trip to the Philippines, coming from United States, let's say, and you land in a remote province here, even Antique, even here in Aklan, it could be quite a challenge because all of a sudden you don't have the luxuries that you're used to. You don't have the big mall. You don't have SNR, you know, Filipino Costco. You know, it's like all of a sudden you can't eat steaks. Ooh, I can't find steaks here. I can't find my stovetop stuffing, or there's no turkey. There's no, you know, things like that. So that's why I understand. You know, it's like, but the common dynamic that I see, the longer you stay in the Philippines, your budget starts lowering. You're becoming more Filipino. You're becoming like Colas of becoming Filipino. You're adjusting to the heat. You're adjusting to the heat. You're adjusting to like stray dogs. You're saying stray dogs no longer bother you. It's amazing. You know, it's like if you ask somebody that's been here like a year, ask them. When you got here, what were the things that you noticed? And then ask them a year later, do you still notice them now? more likely they will tell you, I don't even notice it now. It's like all the noise, all the muffler noise from the motorbikes, the trash that you'll see sometimes everywhere, depending where you're at. You'll just start becoming more Filipino. You're adjusting to the life when you're starting not to notice that. But there are people that, they come here after a year, they notice more and more and they get overwhelmed. And then, that's why I say rent for a year, try out the Philippines for a year. Don't commit to those SRRV, invest money, $10,000, $20,000 in a bank here for SRRV. Military, I think it's okay because $1,500, you'll get that money back if you leave the Philippines. But to me, try the Philippines for a year first, rent first, that way you're not committed. That way, if you're not happy, you can always try Vietnam, you can always try Thailand. I had a friend, like I said many times here, I forgot his name now. He came here to the Philippines 6 months, and now Jack, man, how can I forget Jack? He's now in Thailand. He's been living in Thailand now for 2 years now, and he's happier in Thailand, in the Philippines. So, to me, don't overcommit. Don't overcommit to the Philippines. Rent first, try it out first, find your happy place in the Philippines. Don't, that's why I discourage people all the time. I know, you meet the Filipina, you're LDR, you're in love, you're the AFAM, you're in love. You start building that house in the Filipinas land. I understand that, but, that's not your land. As a foreigner, you can't own that land. So if something goes sideways with your relationship with the Filipina, you're not gonna get anything. You're gonna have to, and that's happened. I know that's happened to some expats here, and that's why it leaves a distaste to their mouth. The Philippines, when that happens, when a relationship doesn't work out with a Filipina, and they put in so much. Build a house, build a sari-sari store, build everything for the Filipina, and the relationship don't work. You're gonna have to leave that. That belongs to the Filipina. That belongs to the Filipina's family. They can kick you out. They can kick you out. Your Colonel, the Colonel. Good morning, Colonel. Good morning, Colonel. How's Iloilo City, Colonel? Hopefully you're getting sunshine. Hopefully you're getting sunshine like we are here in Calibo, in Numancia. When you answer to SSS, all right. When you point with your lips, I know, all right. Yeah, when you start pointing with your lips, you're becoming Filipino. when you answer to SSS, all right. I'm trying to there's a lot of things. The longer you stay there here in the Philippines, you will know you're starting to become Filipino, and you're really, usually that's the barometer for me, for the people that come here. Usually it's 1 year. Usually after 1 year, you either love it living here, or you're like, you can't wait to get out of the Philippines. And that's okay. Nothing wrong with trying it out for 1 year and then, say the Philippines is not for me. I can't stand it here. Nothing wrong with that. At least you tried it. At least you're adventurous enough to try it. Lots of service-connected U.S. vet are kind of in a worry with the current administration. They are trying to go after the veterans' disability compensation. Hopefully they live. I really realized that. It's the first I heard. Hopefully they do, man. Hopefully they leave you guys alone. Man. I don't get disability from the United States Air Force. I was really healthy when I got out of the military. I was 37 years old, no surgeries, no injuries in the military. So I did not get a disability from the United States Air Force. Beautiful day. I'm glad to hear, Colonel, that you're having a great, beautiful day here, man. It's starting to warm up here, and it's only not even 8:30 yet. But amazing. Gonna be an amazing day. Wait for Dazzle to wake up here and then see what we're gonna do today. Leanna doesn't have school, so I'm sure we're gonna do something. We're gonna go out, do something today. All right, I got to the bottom. Thank you very much. For joining the live stream. Always appreciate everybody's time. I know, there's lots of things you could be doing. But I appreciate you joining the live stream. Thank you so much. Have a good day, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, wherever you are. And please stay blessed. Stay blessed, everyone.